Guys, welcome back to Adulting Avenue with Reholile. If this is your first time, welcome to my channel. So in this video I'll be talking about all the things or some of the things that I wish I knew as a first year student living at res. So university residences, most of the old universities, not historically disadvantaged universities, those are separate. So these are some of the things that I wish I knew as a first year student living at a university residence. So I went to university at the University of Pretoria, and that's where I got my first degree, and I lived at Erika in my first year. So Erika with a K. So that's where I lived as a first year student, and these are some of the things that I wish I had known. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Okay, let's get into the video. I wish I had known that as a first year student at Erika, you can have a sharing room or you can have a single room. So yeah, if you have a sharing room, you have a roommate in your room, so your beds are like opposite each other, you're facing each other. And if you have a single room, you have your own room. But how Erika is designed is that it's like apartment, so you walk into the main door and then there's like a lounge area, and that's where you can chill and have your friends wait for you or something like that. But you have like a nice chill area, and then you have different people's rooms. So it's a mixture, you have people who are in their second year living in some of those rooms, and then there's a room, like a single room, and that can be for a first year. Then there's a room that's like sharing, so that's where some first years share, but other first years don't share. A majority of first years don't share. So I wish I had known that you can have a single room as a first year student. However, if you live at res, one thing I will tell you is that after the first semester, so after June, some people leave res. So some first years leave res for various reasons. So you could just go to the office, the res office at res, and find out what you can do to move from a sharing room to a single room, because some people vacate their rooms after the first semester, so rooms open up. So in case you didn't know, now you know. If you have a sharing room, it's okay, just go to the office and just find out, are there any rooms available. And sometimes they say no, there aren't any rooms available, but people who've left, and you can go to like your house committee members and just find out how they can help you, and yeah, move from a sharing room to a single room. Also, just take note, single rooms are more expensive. So single rooms are more expensive than a sharing room, so just be aware of that. Okay, res culture. I wish I'd known that the activities they do and that they try to make everyone relax with, those activities aren't for everyone. So I wish I'd known about res culture, all the different activities that they make you do, and sometimes you don't understand the activities but you're expected to do them. So I wish I'd known about some of these activities before I applied for this particular res. So maybe just see if there's anything about the activities that each res makes you do, or the culture of that residence, like what is their culture. Culture has a lot to do with their history, so why are you doing some of the things that you're doing? However, the nice thing about, well, for me, was that I was told, at the initial welcome of all the first years with all our parents, we were told that, what, some of these cultural activities don't suit everyone's culture, so it's okay not to do them, so it's okay to say no. I was fortunate enough to have someone who was a leader, I think the head of res or something. He said it was okay if you felt like you didn't want to partake in any of those activities, it was okay. So I wish I'd known about some of these activities before applying to this particular res. Some of the residences didn't have these activities, so they just made me feel out of place, and I wish I'd known and I would have applied elsewhere. I would have applied to another res at the same university is what I knew. Okay. I wish I'd known that you can say no, which I did know. But if you're a potential first year student, you should learn, how to prioritize. It's not just saying no to things that make you feel uncomfortable. It's saying no to things when you have a busy schedule. Our schedules are different. One thing about this particular res is that different students live there, so people who are studying a lot of different things live there, so our schedules are different, timetables are different. You might be a BSc student, you might be a BCom student, you might be a BA student, you might be an LLB student, you might just be a BEng student. Like, we're all just mixed, and our schedules and priorities are all different. I'm not saying anyone is more important than the other, but I'm just saying, look at your schedule. Like, if you have time, do it. If you don't have time, say no. So learn how to say no and learn how to say yes. So just learning those, straight from high school, you might need to adjust to find your voice, but you can do it. Just, say no. I really have to do this tutorial. It's due at this time, so I won't have time. Sorry guys, next time. Okay, another thing I wish I'd known is that it's very competitive to live at res, so your marks, they count. So especially if you're someone who's not going to partake in, all or some or any of the res activities, just make sure your marks are on point, because those, competitive. And if they're gonna look at someone who's not taking part in anything at res like me, they're gonna look at my marks and someone who's doing things at res and our marks are the same. They're not gonna choose me. They're gonna choose someone who's got like house spirit and just camaraderie. So living at res, mark wise, it's competitive because there's people who are trying to get in and there's people who are trying to stay in. So just I'd say just try to find a balance. Do some activities at res and make sure your marks are good, so that if they need to choose between someone like me who didn't partake in anything at res and someone like you who will do something at res, they know to choose you and not me. So yeah, res isn't all bad. It's not bad at all living at res. The res I lived at, Erika, so if you're going to Erika, Erika is closest to campus. It's literally on campus. There's free Wi-Fi. When I was there was free Wi-Fi. You had like a computer room, so you could get assignments done and you could print at res. You got free toilet paper. It's safe, and there's just the perk of knowing that you did well enough to get into res, that reassurance, and it's safe. So for me, those are some of the perks to say living at res, and you can make some pretty cool connections and you can connect with different people, and these are connections that might last you, your entire life. I know I just had like a job interview, and then I was asked, okay, so you went to UP, where did you stay? I was like, Erika. Oh, the guy was so happy because he knows Erika. But like sometimes, it creates an impression on people that, oh, she was able to get into res. Oh, good student. But yeah, so it's some of the benefits, and you can make connections, build your network with some people who will become very important people like yourself one day. A perk, you don't have to cook. At my res, Erika, you didn't have to cook. You were close to shops, you were close to taxis. Like, you were just in the center of everything, but without being in the center of everything. It was nice and quiet. It was beautiful, well maintained. It's an honor to live at res. You must learn to say yes, you must learn to say no. If some of the activities, don't make you feel good, don't do them. Manage your marks, make friends, don't be an island. And you could make friends with people who aren't in res, So just try to make the most of that experience. So that's my experience living at res. If you liked this video, or if you have any questions about the res that I stayed at, I mentioned it already, ask them in the comment section down below. And okay, I might get asked this question, why did I leave res? So I left res because I didn't like it. So I left. So any other questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. I'll be sharing, you know, my experience of so I lived off campus, so I'll be sharing my off campus experience with the different places that I stayed at. In Pretoria, I stayed at Unilofts and at Studios at Burnett, so I'll be sharing my experience with those two places. In Bloemfontein, I stayed at Unilofts, Res Publica, Lincoln House, and Campus Key Lodgement. So I'll be sharing just my experience with all of those places. And my experience with Erika wasn't all bad. I made friends, and you know, I'm still in touch with one person that I met in my first year, so that was a long time ago. So it wasn't all bad, it wasn't, but I didn't like it at all. So that's why I say don't be an island, you know, and make friends and try to enjoy your experience at res. And if you don't like it, let your parents know, find a way to stay elsewhere if you can. And yeah, because sometimes it's bad for your mental health to stay in a place where it's unhealthy for you, so you do that. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.